On this week's Fast Track, we meet the women who are happy to go on holiday and leave the men behind.
The conversation's different, the camaraderie's different.
I'm here in La Paz on the world's most dangerous road to find out why Bolivia is South America's least popular tourist destination.
And later on the Fast Track Travel Clinic, why an airfare isn't guaranteed until you pay for it.
Hello, I'm Fiona Foster. Welcome to Fast Track. Now, 7 or 8 years ago, there was high excitement and a fair bit of controversy when some of the big hotel chains announced they were creating women-only floors, where male guests and staff would be barred. A couple of years on, and a number of those projects were quietly canned because there wasn't enough demand. So, segregation on vacation. Is that an idea which is now an outdated concept? We sent Carmen Roberts on a women's-only walking tour of the Great Ocean Road in Australia to find out.
Dramatic limestone stacks jutting out of the ocean, deserted beaches stretching for miles, and serene national parks. The Great Ocean Walk spans more than 100 kilometres and is considered one of Australia's most stunning attractions. And on this trekking holiday, all the walkers were women.
Here come the girls. Here come the girls.
I think there's just more women out there that are keen to get out there and do an active adventure holiday. Look, we still get equally as many women on our normal walks, our non-women only walks, but we just find that the social aspect of women coming together, the conversation's different, the camaraderie's different, and a lot of women, particularly if they're single women or widowed, really enjoy that aspect of just travelling with a group of women only. We'd be happy to run men-only trips, but we just haven't had the demand at the moment.
Here come the girls.
In recent years, there's been an increase in women-only activity and adventure-type holidays. I've been on a Surf Diva surfing camp. Rude Girls runs a women-only snowboarding week in France every January. And Both Feet in Victoria, Australia runs several walks for women, and that number is growing with every season.
So that was a fun day out doing the Great Ocean Walk. We saw so much more of the beach, much more than we would have if we'd driven the Great Ocean Road by car. But how different would it have been if men had been included in our group?
I think walking with a group of girls, there's no bravado or gung-ho sort of let's conquer this walk. A group of girls taking it a bit slower and, enjoying it a little more, taking more of the scenery and, I think it's a good thing.
I find that as a single person that sometimes walking with couples can be rather exclusive. One particular walk I went on had a particularly large number of honeymooning couples, and I think the women's only walk had a very different feeling.
The foot spa and massage at the end of the walking day is another perk, pitched perfectly at the female traveller. And when you hear eco-lodge, you usually think of Spartan cabins with no hot water. But I was pleasantly surprised at the beautifully appointed rooms with showers to rival any luxury hotel. There's a 3-course meal each evening, as well as a glass of wine. This isn't boot camp, you know.
We're certainly seeing a growing demand in women wanting these sorts of active adventure holidays, but with the softer touches at the end of the day. And, everything done for them. They just turn up, everything's done nice and easily, booked very easily, but everything's taken care of, their meals are all taken care of. They don't have to decide what to eat at the end of the day. Particularly busy executive women just like that done-for-you type of holiday.
Well, I think a lot of women are staying single now in the urban cities. I believe that when I speak to some hoteliers, they are also seeing like mother and daughter traveling together. I think the other demographic is also women tend to live longer. I think that applies in Asia as much as in Europe. So if I take my mother as an example, I mean, my dad passed on more than 10 years ago. And after that, I think she just decided to travel and see the world, which she wasn't able to do so. And she does that with a group of women friends.
So women-only holidays are proving as popular as ever. But what about the female business traveller? Well, 40% of travelling executives are now women. And according to a recent survey by Business Traveller magazine, 65% of them felt that hotels didn't adequately cater to their needs.
If you're working every day.
Naomi, a boutique hotel in Singapore, has been offering a women-only floor for some time now. There's restricted pass access, as well as those special girly touches like hair straighteners, pantyhose and luxurious bathroom products.
More women are climbing the corporate ladder these days, occupying middle and upper management positions. So this translates to them having higher spending power and more discerning taste. So the women's only floor was created such that we could cater to a growing demand of providing a comfortable and luxurious space in a secure environment.
Across town, the Gallery Hotel has gone the other way. It offered a women-only floor around 10 years ago, but that idea was later abandoned. Similarly, in 2003, the Hilton Hotel in London decided to dedicate its 22nd floor to women only. Female guests had a private check-in area, the bedroom doors had spy holes and more secure locks, and food ordered from room service was delivered by a female staff member. Today, however, the 22nd floor is open to all. According to a Hilton spokesperson, the concept was abandoned because it simply wasn't popular.
I think that's a bit of an outdated concept for me personally. I remember going to Shanghai once and they put me in a women's only floor, and I said, well, I didn't ask for that. And so they made the assumption because I was a woman that I wanted to be on that floor. So I think that's a bit of stereotyping.
While the leisure market seems to be getting it right, catering for the female business traveller is a little trickier.
Some hotels, I think, have done a really good job in looking after women, business travelers in particular, right? Because when we are traveling on business, we tend to travel alone. So some hotels have introduced amenities for women, not necessarily specific floors, but amenities that make it, women like different things than men, So some hotels have done a better job of that.
Websites such as maidenvoyage.com, a social network for busy female travellers, or globaldinernetwork.com, a site that lets you share a dinner table with another frequent traveller in the same city, are all aimed at busy women executives. So there clearly is a market out there, and hotels and travel companies could learn from this first-hand advice.
Well, over to you. What do you think? Does the idea of an all-women holiday appeal, or does it strike you as rather old-fashioned? Do get in touch and let us know what you think. The address, as ever, is fasttracktravel@bbc.co.uk. And quite a few of you have been in touch with us about stories we've featured recently on the programme. This week you've been emailing us to tell us how frustrating it is when you pay more for your holiday than expected because of misleading travel ads.
I thought my holidays had risen in price while I was booking them, but I've realised they're doing it systematically. You select a holiday at one price, and then on the next page, it's over $150 more expensive.
In Nigeria, European airline tickets can be 3 times more expensive when taxes are added. They all do it, and it's just terrible.
And this viewer has encountered another problem when booking holidays online.
One thing that has made travel planning difficult is the large number of fake hotel reviews. It's time-consuming and inconvenient to work around this problem.
Well, Raquel emailed us about our feature on the attractions of Florianopolis in Brazil.
I love Florianopolis, but there's garbage all over the island, and the transportation system has very few bus lines and extremely expensive fares.
As ever, thanks for all your emails, and please do keep them coming. We honestly read every one. Now let's have a look at what else is making the news in the world of travel this week.
Passengers on board the MSC Opera have finally reached dry land after being stranded at sea for nearly 3 days. The 1,800 holidaymakers were left adrift in the Baltic Sea after their cruise ship developed technical problems. MSC Cruises apologised to passengers and said they'll be given credit vouchers for the full value of their trip.
Terrible. We're getting very little info on board. Total darkness in our cabins, wouldn't give us torches. The toilets were full up, couldn't flush them for 10 hours.
It was uncomfortable, especially on the second day when the power went off.
Chinese tourists may soon be able to visit Taiwan on their own. The island's premier's confirmed negotiations are underway to let 500 solo visitors in from China every day. Currently, they're only let in on group tours. Thousands of tourists flooded hotels and campsites in Cape Canaveral, Florida, to watch the final launch of Space Shuttle Endeavour. It took off after a 17-day delay and begins the winding down of the NASA fleet. Atlantis will make the last ever Space Shuttle flight in the summer. And there are reports that the hideout of Osama bin Laden has become an unlikely tourist attraction. Crowds have been gathering in Abbottabad, Pakistan, hoping to catch a glimpse of the home of the world's most wanted man.
Still to come here on Fast Track, Simon Calder's here with his advice on the best and most cost-effective way of booking a cruise. And we're off to Bolivia to find out why the country has so far pretty much stayed off the tourist map.